Hey folks, it's Mad Rabbit, and I'm back in World of Warcraft today. Just showing you a little bit of footage here of another solo raid from Classic WoW. But because this is WoW Talk, I figure we'll actually go and talk about something real quickly here. I won't go into too much detail today, but I'm going to continue kind of in the same stream I've been going here lately with talking about preparing for Mists of Pandaria, which is coming out, oh, what, about a month from now? Not too long, and we're already downloading the patch now, if you haven't noticed. And the opening cinematic is out, which is really pretty cool. I thought it wasn't too bad. Actually went inspired me to go back and watch the old cinematics, and I actually went into the WoW and watched the cinematics in there. So they're pretty good. I just I don't know. I just really like full CGI. I've always liked that stuff. It's just really awesome. And yeah, so I think we'll go back into professions again. And I know last time, in the past couple times, I've been talking mainly about inscriptionists and getting inks and dyes, or whatever the heck they call them. Inks, aren't they? Inks, whatever. Getting a lot of that. Then I talked about tailoring. Actually, the last episode was about tailoring and some of the spots I go. One thing I failed to mention was about the nether cloth, where I would farm that. I didn't have a specific spot for farming it, mainly because you can actually get a lot of that really super cheap on the auction house usually. Um, but I mean, someone's got to farm it at some point. So my guess is, and maybe people can correct me if I'm wrong, but you might have a better chance of getting a lot of nether cloth probably in the instances there, right there in Hellfire Peninsula. Unless you know of good areas where you can get lots of AoEing large groups of people down that drop it in large quantities. If you have a good spot, please leave it in the comments. I don't really have a specific spot that I do it on, because usually I just buy it. So that was just sort of like a little addendum to our previous episode, if you want to consider that. So watch the last episode if you didn't. But I wanted to go onwards and continue more with herbalism and talking about herbalism, and probably alchemy today. Now, I'm not a big alchemy expert, but I know for the most part, really, the only good potions for alchemy is whatever current level stuff is. So there's really very little you can do as far as preparing for alchemy goes. And that means herbalism, other than using your herbalist to gather herbs for your inscriptionist, herbalism really isn't going to be very good for preparing in any way, shape, or form, really, for alchemy. And unless there's maybe some potion out there that I don't really am not too keen on, which I might not be. I've never been big into potions. Um, Maybe just if you want to gathering some herbs to prepare for some of those people that are going to try for world first with alchemy, or world first with perhaps herbalism or something along. Well, actually, herbalism wouldn't be in that, would it? No, actually, it wouldn't be. But to me, there's really no way to prepare properly for alchemy, and then the coming expansion, other than just when day one hits to go out there and farm herbs big time and make your money that way too. I would say probably concentrate more on making your money with herbs, rather than really alchemy would probably be easier to make money at if you farm your own, particularly those first few weeks when people are just getting acclimated to things. So there's really not much more you can do as far as money preparation and gold farming and whatnot, or preparing for those two professions. One other one I wanted to touch on really quickly, mainly because there's really not much, yeah, again, you could say about engineering, but there are a few things to consider about engineering, mainly because of the pet battles thing, because they actually make quite a few pets. And because things have become bound on account now with the pet battles, there's going to be a lot of people doing pets. You may want to consider actually making some of the pets now, particularly the ones that are maybe you're not seeing much of on the auction house. I know they had two new ones, one with each of the specializations in this current expansion, but there was also a few older ones too that people are going to want. So please consider that too if you do happen to have an engineer. Really, engineering is never really made really good money other than maybe perhaps that, there aren't too many things. People making new characters, maybe they'll use some of those combo items, like the combination, what is it, the combination pickaxe skinning thing, and some of those might sell okay maybe day one, but not, I wouldn't invest too much money in the preparation for that. It's really not much not much you can prepare for that, or really any of them. Making your money now, between now and the month we have between now and MOP, that was what I would probably actually sell pets now, make some and store them also for after the expansion releases, because there will be a lot of people coming back, most likely when this event happens, the whole Theramore Island event, which I don't know exactly when that's going to happen. Some people are speculating it's going to happen when, probably coincide with when Guild Wars 2 releases next week. I'm guessing that's what Blizzard's going to do. I already know that's what they're going to do. You can almost count on it. That's probably when that little event will happen, and people maybe be able to participate in that for a week or two. Things will calm down, but there'll be a lot of stuff to really do within this next week. I would suggest maybe just a few off the cuff things for making money is running, just if you really need money now, I mean, like running old raids and old dungeons, and trying to get just farming for these materials, like I've been saying. Particularly, a lot of people are going to be obviously leveling enchanting again, and there was one other particular tailoring thing that I probably should have mentioned last time around. And this has been mentioned before, and I sort of, actually, maybe I'll save this for another. This is almost like too good for just this video. Almost, I should have had it in the previous one about tailoring, so maybe I'll have that for the next WoW Talk video. Ways to make money and get some of those really hard to get essences for the enchanting. And enchanting is going to be one of those ones where you're going to be able to make money any time of year, mainly because of the essences if you can get the rare ones. And that's the key. I usually run. No, I'm going to save this for the next episode, guys. But so for these, well, we did cover quite a bit. I can't think of too many more ways to make money now, between now and then, because if you were to make PvP gear with blacksmithing or with tailoring or anything, or even leather crafting, it's really, you're not going to make much right now. Investing in some of the bags, particularly, there are bags, I know at least one, maybe two recipes that are actually in the Molten Front dailies, if you remember that. Yeah, for, I think it was a mining bag there, or a skinning bag, I can't remember which one. That's a possibility you might want to go back and do if you hadn't been doing those dailies, or if you happen to have some of those extra, what do they call, Mark of the World Tree thingies, yeah, points or emblems or whatever they call them. That's another thing, getting those formulas and making those bags for profession bags. I'll call them profession bags, like herbalist bags and miner bags, or whatever they call them. Because there's a bunch of formulas that are a little bit harder to get that are in the current content that you might want to consider getting. So I think in the next one we'll talk about my ways to make money off of basically the combination of tailoring and enchanting, and I have a few formulas in particular, and it's no new information. I've seen this information out there, but our next episode will probably be about that. And it'll be a short one. I just basically show you which ones you need to do, which ones you can concentrate on. But in the meantime, I'll tell you, if you find some cheap mage weave and some cheap rune cloth, yes, even the lower level stuff, I would grab that up. If you see it on the auction house, cheap, like dirt cheap. Like if you see it like for like under 25 gold pieces a pop for the rune cloth, or if you see it maybe under 15 for the mage weave or something like that. Again, if you're depends on your server, but on my server that's what it is, sort of a medium population one. I'm gonna end this here now. I'm rambling again. I will say just do that in preparation for our next episode, and catch you next time. Matter is out of here.